What's up there, Metal Summoners? It is so great to see you guys. Thank you, as always, for tuning in, supporting the show, just rocking out with us, but most importantly, showing so much love, so much attention, and just so much good vibes to all of the guests that Angel and I get the privilege to talk to. And tonight's going to be no different. We're coming on you on a Tuesday night. We're loving it. We're having a specialty episode tonight, and we're bringing back a little bit of the lost for some, but 365 for the rest of us in spooky season. So we're going to keep having a little bit of fun with our guests this evening, and we're going to jump right into it. We're going to have a little bit of fun. Again, this is your Island of Misfit Toys with myself and with Angel, and we've got Torchlight Parade with us right now. First and foremost, guys, thank you so much for giving us some of your time this evening. It's an absolute pleasure, and welcome to the Metal Summit.
Thank you for having us. We're excited.
Absolutely, for sure. Well, I mean, you should be excited. I mean, we're excited to have you. We were talking a little bit off the air about it, but I mean, congratulations are in order when it comes to Children of the Night. We were checking out the vinyl before we went live. So for first and foremost, all of you Metal Summoners that love your merch and love supporting bands, I mean, we've got vinyl. These guys have vinyl. I mean, there's so much cool stuff to talk about. But again, congratulations are in order for the record, guys. Well done.
Thank you. Take a bow. Thank you.
So talk a little bit about how the record came to be, and when you guys like putting together the writing, and kind of what your thought process was for the album you wanted to put out and ultimately gave us.
Well, it all started with it's a collection of just spooky horror songs, and of course I'm an embalmer. That's what I do during the day, and my brother there, he drives the hearse, and my nephew, he plays the bass, Doug's son, and Gavin is a dear friend of ours, and he plays, and Sammy's best friend, and he plays the drums. So anyway, with the collection of all the mortuary stuff, we compiled a whole list of our favorite songs, and of our favorite kind of horror of monsters that we liked, and we wrote off that, and with using a little bit of the blood and guts and what we see day to day, we come up with that whole album. And we had we have our guest, Teddy Zigzag Andradius from Guns N' Roses, and Alice Cooper, and a handful of others. And he plays the keyboards and the harmonica on the album. And he does the intro too, all those spooky sounds and that he added together. And we also have, we got the bagpipe, John Ford Pipe Highland Band.
Which is from the funeral home also.
Yeah, we picked them up playing Amazing Grace at the National Cemetery. So we threw them in on the parade. They were happy to oblige, and come aboard. And we play with them quite often. We bring them on the road with us when we go, sometimes when we can get them all, because we usually bring 4 of them, and they're all in the regalia. And we do Dancing with the Dead off that album, and we'll throw in Long Way to the Top by AC/DC. Crowd loves that one. So with the parade, we always bring all kinds of different things out, and we have the monsters on the stage. Mm-hmm. With each of Hayden Field brings out Michael Myers, and Frankenstein of Death brings out Frankenstein himself, and
and Dancing with the Dead's got the bagpipes on there.
Yeah, and it's a swinging, it's a slobber knocker, man. It's a good time, that song. It gets everybody out of the seats.
Absolutely, which it definitely should. And I mean, you guys already kind of, Torch, you already kind of segued into it as a direction that I was going to go next anyway. But I mean, the band is very much a family affair. And so we'd love to hear a little bit about exactly like how that, came to be. I mean, family members in bands together is by no means a brand new thing, but I mean, it's so ingrained in your particular band. I would love to hear a little bit about just how that came to be as a whole.
Yeah, go ahead, Dougie.
All right. Well, Sam, he's been playing the bass or whatever, and it just kind of happened where he wanted to start playing. He plays all over the place. Anyways, he really wanted to play with me, so we just found it at the right time where he could jump on. So, and then I write the music. My brother writes most of the lyrics, and then Sam, he's been writing stuff. And the Morticians Never Cry, he wrote the music for that on the album. And then my youngest son, he'll come up on stage, and he's a little werewolf on stage. So that's fun. But with family, it keeps a lot of drama stuff out of it because everybody gets the whole project. It's kind of like it's a circus. We all come together and it's fun. We all enjoy it. So
good times.
Absolutely. No, for sure. And I mean, heavy metal, extreme, like, energy and like showmanship, goes so well with horror. And being a horror guy myself and like, a vampire personality as my other side gig, talk a little bit about Vampire Night and how that song came to be.
Well, as far as the music, Matt, you can talk about the lyrics. As far as the music, we were approached during the right before COVID to do this couple of these songs. They were supposed to have some TV program, and it was like Vikings and vampires and stuff. So they wanted us to write a song. So I was like, all right, I can write a vampire song. And I had to make it kind of like a sexy sound, in a minor key. So I did that, and then I said, here's the music, and then gave it to my brother to do the lyrics, and then he could explain how the lyrics.
Yeah, it's what's cool about Children of the Night, and you listen to it, it kind of tells a tale, and the way we arrange the songs to tell its own kind of horror, like concept album, I guess you'd say, or whatever. But from the beginning, you'll hear the sound and the swoosh, and in my mind, it was the vampire in the bat form, and he's flying over, a park, and then you'll hear a bunch of kids going around a merry-go-round, and you'll hear them at the end going, ring around the rosy. And then, and then the song ends. And then if you follow the way we have the songs, but to get to Vampire Night, I believe right before that is Shadow Run.
Yep.
And that is a visual that I had of the vampire's he's hauling, man. He's trying to make it to his castle before sunrise, and it's right there at the nick of time, and he's on the cliffs, and that Shadow Run is the hounds of hell. They're on him. They're trying to catch him, and they don't, and he gets right inside the castle.
Van Helsing.
That's when that song plays.
Oh, right on, man. That's awesome. No, that song is absolutely killer. It was the song I used when for you guys, when I put your guys' guest announcement out on Instagram. I was like, oh yeah, we're going to use Vampire Night for this one for sure. Yeah. Angel, my guy, let's give it up to you, my man. Take it away.
I want to say congrats on the new record. I think now with Halloween being over, what I love about this band is
says you.
Yeah, you're just warming up, man.
Exactly. What I love is that, I mean, some people they just kind of do the Halloween thing for just one day, you guys are doing it 365 days a year, which is fucking
Well, that's
awesome.
because my brother and I are in the morgue 365 days a year.
Yeah, so you live it.
Yeah.
There's no escape.
You can't escape death, or death. So there you go. I know I said death twice, but that was the whole point of it.
They're a good band.
Well, thanks.
Man, what I love is, I mean, I haven't really heard a band do like an intro like Children of the Night was. I mean, I thought it was a song, but when I first heard it, I was like, this is a pretty cool fucking way to actually start out an album with just that intro, because you don't hear that much.
Wait, hey, what's your favorite song on the album, man?
So far, I just been listening to it today. Definitely, if I had to pick the vampire one that Jay was talking about, I don't know, something about vampires. I don't know.
Vampire Night. Song's bitching.
It always
Excellent.
will be. But definitely, I mean, been listening to it, but just kind of loving just how fucking heavy it is with the guitars and all that stuff. So far it's just been slowly starting to get into it more. So definitely hoping that I get to see the band live. Because we like to travel, especially out in the Midwest where it always fucking rocks. I'm always jealous of the Midwest. Because the scene out there is always fucking rocking, and people go to the shows and they support the bands more so than like the East Coast does.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you guys gotta have to or if we're good Lord willing, we'll be on a good tour, coming up here. There's a few places, but it's just starting to warm up,
Mm-hmm.
for the summer 2026.
Is there any places, like areas you guys will be hitting?
Waiting on a tour to come through that we can jump on with somebody, like we just did with the Texas Hippie and stuff like that, Texas Hippie Coalition. But waiting on festivals to pop up, and waiting on some things in the work, just trying to jump on a good tour. I know we almost did the John 5, but it would have been hard because he's still in high school. It's hard to get him out of school for a month, So, but we're waiting on something for like early summer to, hit. So.
Yeah, half our band is, in 11th grade.
but they're family, that's the difference.
Yeah, man. So. Yeah, it's something to come down the pike, and we'll jump on it. So we're pretty good with that. Pavement's been pretty good to us, and I foresee us being on a pretty good gig this summer, man. So who knows where that'll take us? We'd like to head down south, somewhere warm with where it's wet, with the ocean. Florida. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Or even like out east or wherever it takes us.
The one song, Frankenstein of Death.
That's my favorite.
To me, I mean, sometimes I'm like a title. I mean, sometimes to me, the title, I guess that's just from, growing up in the 80s. You always kind of see like the song listings before you actually hear the songs. So I looked at that when I was like, that's a cool fucking title for a song. So just want to know, did you guys come up with a title first for that song or lyrics? How did that song just come together?
Actually, Doug, my brother came up with that one, the title, and he gave me the hook, and the rest it just come, naturally. So it works really good when you're working with your brother, and he'll do things like that, and we give each other, a little germ of something, and from there it just blossoms, and together we roll it together, and it comes out pretty cool.
Oh.
And now we got a third family members, and he's gelling really good, and Gavin too, and he's been given a lot of the kid. That kid is wonderful on them drums. I've never played with a better drummer, and just loud, and he comes up with some killer riffs and fills, and he can fill it, and he can fill it fast.
That's the thing now lately. I just kind of seen more like the new bands coming out. I just kind of noticed that the drummer is always like young and heavy, like kind of reminds me of Dave Grohl back in Nirvana type of thing.
Yeah, when Gavin's hitting those cymbals and you're standing next to him, you can feel the wood chipping off, hit your arm, man. I'm like, that's what I want,
Yeah. Yeah, he's a force.
Let me bring in Brian, who has a question. Each member, please offer a random rant. Listen to new bands. That's mine. So I'm sorry.
A random rant?
Yeah. Mine would be listen to new fucking bands.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stop the same bullshit. I get it. Motley Crue, Metallica, I fucking get it.
Or stop seeing cover bands. Go see original bands.
Yes.
Real quick on the Frankenstein of Death. That's my favorite one on the album, and that was a fun one to write. And when I recorded it, when we play live, we play in like 440 E, standard E. But when we record it, we want everything down to C sharp, and it was just fun to record. Everything about that song was fun. And when Teddy Zigzag, he put all his stuff on there you can hear like dropping chains and stuff. There's the whole Frankenstein vibe, and the voices in there and all that. That was a fun one for me, and that's my favorite on the album.
I know favorites change. So I mean,
I did.
So that one, yes. So that one is like up there.
I'm sorry?
I said that one is actually up there. I think that one would take over as my favorite because that changes like week to week for me.
Well, check out. So I was saying the Rattlesnake Jake, Sam.
Don't piss him off.
Yeah, don't piss off the Rattlesnake. Yeah, that's just the thing. He wrote the music to Morticians Never Cry, and Uncle Matt wrote the lyrics, Morticians Never Cry.
When I wrote Morticians Never Cry, I'm like, I was in the basement. When I think of that song, all I think about is me in my basement just, fiddling around with a little something. And I was like, I need this song that's just like heavy and, something where, Gavin could enjoy it a little bit for himself too, because it's one of those songs, you can lift weights to and, or get exercise, go to the gym. You can even walk on the sidewalk and just be listening to it or something. But I just want a song that just, rocks, and that's the heaviest song off the Children of the Night album. And, yeah, there you go. But yeah, the Morticians Never Cry. That's written by me.
Does Haddonfield's Revenge have something to do with Michael Myers?
Of course, yeah, of course. He's my of course. There's one of my favorite horror movies is Phantasm, of course, because the funeral home and all that. But I always liked Michael because when you go into a room, if you come home late at night and you open the door and it's pitch black in your house, you're always thinking, man, there's a guy in a white mask over there. I'm gonna lose it, So, but I wrote that song Haddonfield. So yeah, that's all. And in fact, on stage we have a guy that plays Michael on stage. We have a Frankenstein, and then we have the wolf, and the bagpipers and all that. So and they each come out in different songs, and then at the end they all come out. So, but
No, that's fucking awesome. Because like back in our heyday with like the 70s, like theater rock with Alex Cooper. So it's just good to kind of have that back still instead of having a band. I guess because I was in high school during grunge, just standing on stage playing. It's just good to see you guys bring the songs to life the way you do with bringing in like a Michael Myers or a Wolf,
yeah.
all that stuff. It just makes it more entertaining.
Exactly, fun.
Yes, rock and roll is supposed to be fun, not grungy.
That's right, fun.
With the dead.
High school days, grunge. Sorry, that's my rant. There you go.
Hey, I'm with you on that.
Speaking of somebody that doesn't like grunge, Brian has another good question. What song took the longest and was the hardest to write? That's a good question.
Yeah, I tell you what. The longest. Well,
The longest to write or
the hard one was kind of dancing with the day because I had to do that for the bagpipers and it had to be in B flat. But I call her Mausoleum. That one took some work. So the keyboards and all in there, and then the lyrics, and then the song actually when we originally recorded was a lot longer. But I guess nobody wants to hear a 2-minute solo these days. I do, but so we had to cut the solo in half. But that one was kind of tricky.
I'll agree with my brother. That was on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, it's cool. We got a little video out there. I guess like an AI video or whatever. But it's cool. It's a good song. I mean, it's a lot of people like that one. I call her Mausoleum. And actually, the drummer, his sister, she's a professional singer. She's young. She sings on Broadway, and that's the little girl in the back. She's singing the high notes. And then also my daughter on the Children of the Night, you hear a loud scream. That's my daughter Melody. She's screaming real loud. Ah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
We got them all in the studio,
Oh man, Brian, why would you ask this question?
Why wouldn't Brian ask this question?
Tickle their toes. Yeah. I don't know.
That's if they're dead or alive.
No, nothing. Everything's professional, man.
Yeah, Brian.
I didn't hear the question.
The most disturbing thing you've done to a corpse.
Embalm it. And when I embalm it, it's to preserve, disinfect, and to restore, but in the process you're mutilating, so to speak. So I mean, you're preserving a human body,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Matt, how many have you done?
Oh, over 10,000.
Damn.
Yeah. Yep. I'm on two or three funerals a day, man. So we just kind of put it into the music, It's our escape, when you deal with death, like, real, not stuff, spooky stuff I'm talking about death, you need an escape. So the music's our escape, So It's our chance to get
Right.
all that
Our
off
pop-
the room. Say what, Matt?
I said it keeps our powder dry. But then my nephew there, he's matches. You know.
what
That
is your matches?
So you don't piss off that rattlesnake.
No.
Looking at you, dude. Yeah.
When people say rattlesnake, that gets me worried because I'm like, are they talking bad about me or are they talking good? You know, it's one of those things you never know. So when it's like when you say someone's name, right? It's like, are they speaking bad about you or are they speaking good about you? You know, you don't
Always
know.
good, nephew.
I hope it is. I pray it is.
Yeah, look, at times you're gonna have people, no matter how good of a record you make, they're gonna have something stupid to say.
Sure, it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
So the best way is, hey, at least they're listening. Whether they
That's
say,
right.
Oh yeah. If,
Yeah.
if they've got something to say about it, that means they're still listening to it.
but they won't come to the show and say it directly to you.
Yeah, but they should. The way that I always looked at that kind of stuff is so like here I can piggyback off a little bit of what Brian's question was before. Here's like a little like rant of my own. Like when bands come across like my radar that I just don't get, that's okay, you know, but I've always found it to be incredibly important to give a band the opportunity to change my mind. So like, for example, a band that like when I was growing up, I was very, well, I still am to this day, but like I've always been incredibly protective of horror movies. I've always been incredibly protective of like glam and also goth rock music. So like, for example, it took me a little while. It really wasn't until I got older that then I realized, you know, look, funny is funny and it's important to laugh and enjoy yourself. But like, I wasn't into a lot of parody stuff when I was younger because I was a little bit more like sensitive where I was like, stop making fun of something that I truly care about. So with the exception of like horror movie companies like Trauma, who I was always a fan of, and like Full Moon, because I'm a big Charles Band fan, especially with like Subspecies and stuff like that. I was always a little sensitive to like parody type movies or stuff that would kind of like poke fun. And then I would get all like kind of annoyed about it and be like, oh, fuck those guys. Same thing with like music. A band like Steel Panther, for example, who I wouldn't give the time of, and I go all the way back to day one, like Metal School, Metal Shop, all their name changes. Originally, I really wasn't into those guys because I was like, I don't like the fact they're making fun of glam metal. I didn't realize it right away that it was more of a playful tribute to the genre than poking fun at it. But I've always had a very, very stern stance where I will always go and see a band live and give them the opportunity to change my mind. And that's what I did with Steel Panther. They're an amazing live show. They're so fun. It's such a good time. And from the very first time I saw them live many years ago, all the way up to the present, still been a fan. A band like the Pretty Reckless, I was always really hard on them because I didn't really understand or couldn't really vibe with the fact that this actress girl seemed like she woke up one day deciding she wanted to be a metal chick. And I'm not trying to like discredit her, but it wasn't something I really understood. Went and saw them live, liked them just fine. You know, her vocals are solid. The band plays very well, but in the big picture, didn't change my opinion one bit. It's just, they're just not my jam. It's just not really my thing. A band like Falling in Reverse, the only reason I went and saw them to begin with was because I'm incredibly delicate when it comes to how bands treat their fans. And Falling's lead singer had a reputation back in the day of being very discourteous towards fans, and I'm always very sensitive to that. But anyway, my buddy Max, who's not in the band now, but he was in the band for 7-8 years, was in the band at the time, and they were coming through the area to play Warped Tour. So I was like, let me go out and support my buddy and check out this band that he's playing in that I've been kind of hard on, so on and so forth. And overall, it was a good time, you know, and I had a great time just seeing my friend. But getting back on point, that's kind of my thing, is like, go out and see these bands. You know, if you don't understand it right away, there's nothing wrong with that. But like, give these bands the opportunity to show you what they do best live. Because no matter how good a record is, a record is still a record, and it doesn't change the fact that the record's not great. Like I've told you guys already how much I love Children of the Night. I think your current album is absolutely sick. And I look forward to seeing you guys live because like I'm interested, and I think what I got from your record versus what I've looked up online, sets anybody, myself included, up for a really good time at your show, which I know seems like an easy thing for me to say to you guys while I'm looking at you right now, but that also is just how I believe about live music versus recorded music.
Oh, by the way, man, all funeral directors and embalmers get free into our show. So
Yeah.
if
Hey,
you-
I'll change careers.
our second album is called Never Laugh When a Hearse Rolls By. It's an old nursery rhyme. And that
Right.
whole album, for the guy that asked the question about the last question he asked, that album there, Never Laugh When a Hearse Rolls By, it kind of goes through a whole type of funeral thing, and that's what it was a concept album for a funeral, and Sam Bam Colton from Faster Pussycat and Godsmack, he's from St. Louis, and he threw a solo on the title track. So,
Oh, that's awesome. I love Sam. Sam's amazing.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah, he's where we're from. So
I mean, I met Sam over 10 years ago when he was very young playing with Gabby Ray. And he basically kind of got mentored by one of my dearest friends in Ace Von Johnson, who, if you're familiar with Faster Pussycat, I'm sure you're familiar with him.
Oh,
we opened for him twice, Faster Pussycat.
Nice. But no, that's awesome. So yeah, Sam is amazing people. So that's so cool to hear that he played on that record.
Yeah, check out the title cut, man.
Oh yeah. Well, because I was gonna ask you guys about that, because like I've since looked up your catalog, and the next segment that I was gonna go into myself was like, when you look at your 2020 record, in Torchlight Parade, up until Never Laugh With a Hearse Rolls By, up to present with Children, how have you seen the progression of the band go? Like, how have you felt about your musical writing, your lyrical writing, and the maturity of the band?
It gets more fun, and it gets more smoother, and you kind of know what you want as far as your sound goes, So, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Hey, you talk about horror movies and stuff. We play a couple of we went up to Minnesota and then up to Kansas City, the Crypticons, and we'll play the Crypticons. They got all these actors. I rode the elevator with Art the Clown, and you're sitting there, you're laughing, hey, it's Art the Clown,
Yeah, with David.
They got with Michael Winslow, all kinds of different actors, but a lot of horror actors, and it's a fun time. They run out the whole hotel, and we get to play that night and stuff. But you ought to check that out.
Yeah,
the Crypticons, those are neat.
I definitely will, for sure. Because I mean, like Angel and I are both like con people. Like he does a lot of he's very in with like the exotic cons. He's been to like New Jersey Horror Con before in Edison because he's close by there, and I do a lot of the con circuit just because of my other show. So like things like New Jersey Horror Con, Monster Mania, Creature Feature, things like that. I love all that kind of stuff. Like I could go into horror all night, but then you guys will never go to bed. Like, but no, all that stuff is great. I mean, those whole like cons, just regardless of the cons that you're into, sci-fi cons, horror cons, exotic cons, stuff like that. Those like just convention vibes are like so fun because just like you said, you never end up you never know who you're going to even end up in the elevator with.
Yeah. They're fun, man. I mean, I like it. Everybody's dressed up, and then when you're done, they come out.
Yeah, that's the best. Everybody's dressed up.
Oh yeah.
I always get my ass kicked at those Exotica stuff.
Yeah, don't act like you don't like it.
Oh, I did. I actually had my friend do it, which was nice.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the ladies always have the best costumes.
Oh,
Yes.
for sure. Absolutely, they do. No, and it's funny because like my wife Megan, she is not what you would call a clown person. She tolerates Terrifier because I'm such a fan, but she's also gotten very into Sienna's character. She loves like the backstory and what they're building with like Sienna's character. So like she's really invested in that character. And she was able to meet the actress Lauren recently. But I'm an old school Terrifier guy. I go back to the first Terrifier movie when it was like a Kickstarter, and the stuff even before that with All Hallows Eve when Art the Clown was played by a different guy.
Yeah.
But I definitely love all that kind of stuff for sure. I mean, we're like her little triangle of like horror movies that I always tell people is like her ride or die franchise is Halloween, bar none. Like she is a Michael Myers girl, and for her then it's also Jaws and Saw. Like that's her like triangle of like franchises.
Oh yeah, that Saw's killer.
Yeah.
That one got me, the first one.
Yep. Yeah, like I was really into the I've been into the whole Saw franchise. I Billy tattooed on my wrist, and I love all of that. I was specifically into the first 4 movies because I'm a big fan of backstory. I love learning about characters. So what also kept me very invested in the series was learning about Tobin Bell's, John Kramer character each movie that they put out. And there was a little bit there was a little lull in the middle of there, the 5th movie. I was kind of like, damn, it cut down on the story a little bit and went kind of like overly gory. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have a bloodlust in horror movies just as much as the next guy, but like I felt there was so much strength in the story they were telling, and I felt like that like 5th movie kind of like just kind of wanted to be more blood soaky and a little less storytelling. But then I thought they came back really well. Honestly, I've liked all the movies in the franchise, really with the exception of Spiral. I don't know if you guys ever saw that one. That was the kind of the offshoot movie they did with Samuel L. Jackson and Chris Rock. I wasn't really a big fan of that. I love those actors. The movies are great, but I just the story that they tried to execute, I thought was weak. But that's just the way it is for there. And like with me, like I'm a huge Terrifier guy. I'm a vampire guy just through and through. Like I just love vampire movies in general. I'm an old school Universal Monsters guy.
Yes.
I love the original Nosferatu. That's my overall favorite vampire is Nosferatu. But then I'm also a big like demonology fan. So like I love the whole Conjuring universe. I'm big into like the Conjuring and Annabelle, and Megan thinks that Insidious is stupid as hell, and I think Insidious is awesome.
Do you like Phantasm?
I think Phantasm is great.
Yeah.
I had a couple of opportunities, and I got nobody to blame but myself when it comes to cons, but I had a couple of opportunities to meet Angus Scrimm, which I didn't pull the trigger on, and that's totally on me. I mean, I was like by his table at times, so like I was close by him, but I never took the opportunity to like actually, meet him officially, shake his hand, get an autograph or a picture, or at least just have a say hi. But no, I love Phantasm because Angus was also in my favorite Full Moon series, which I had mentioned before, in Subspecies. Angus was in that as well. But no, Phantasm is absolutely fantastic because I'm a franchise guy. I'm a big Hellraiser fan as well too. So that's kind of like my main, like where Megan's is a triangle, mine's kind of a square because like I love like all things vampires. I love Terrifiers. I love demonology, possession movies, and then I love love things like Phantasm and like franchises like that. But Hellraiser is a big one for me.
I also love the Creep shows.
So good. I met Tom Savini recently, and that was awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was my main thing. I have a
He
little
looks like Carmine Apiece.
Oh yeah, he does. He really does. And like, because I have like I've got like a little poster from Creep Show 2 that I've gotten a couple of autographs on over the years from like one of the actors from like The Raft and the guy who played the hitchhiker and the guy who played Chief Woodenhead from the Indian first story that they told, and then because Tom Savini is the creeper in those creep show movies, so when he came through on a con through Baltimore, because I'm down in Maryland, I was like, oh man, I got to take my poster. I got to get Tom Savini on my creep show poster.
Yeah, that was a good one. The Wooden Indian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, George Kennedy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, I always thought that one was super duper cool. And before I kick it back over to Angel, I want to talk to you guys real quick, just a little bit about like art and the art department for the band. Because like the album covers are sick, but I also love your guys' logo. Like I said, before this interview, I'd already hit up your merch store, and I was like, man, their Torch logo was so fucking sick. Then I know that you guys have that on shirts. I love the split Frankenstein for Frankenstein of Death. I think that's all like super cool. But talk a little bit just about like the art concepts of your bands, because between the album covers and your t-shirts, they're definitely very eye-catching and they're very unique.
Go for it, Matt. Tell them about Brummett.
We worked with it was also a family, my cousin, our cousin Eddie, and collaborated with Eric Brummett, who's the artist for Alice Cooper. And
Eric did this, the famous Alice there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he works with us.
Yeah. Is it me?
Yeah, go.
Yeah,
we're steering it back to you, my friend.
Okay, there was a break there. Anyway, they worked together on actually our second album, Never Laugh When a Hearse Rolls By, and then the third album. This was our third album in that, and Doug and I we were wanting, because we had all the songs and it was all a horror, and we were putting them in order, and Doug and I were kicking around, well, man, what kind of album cover, and what do you see? So we came up with that together, and we gave our idea concept and came up with the art. And that came out, and where else was I going to go with this? And then on the inner sleeve, there's that Frankenstein with the half ripping skull off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my son did that. It says Leo Engel there, and he was the artist there for the inner sleeve and also the sticker for the. That's another. I forgot to mention that when we were adding all the family members, and my son's involved too. So, but it's on the artwork. It's also on the CD too. But
when it came to the little tweaks in the actual Torch logo, what was kind of the thought behind that? Because when you look at your first record, the Torch logo with everything, it's got a slightly more kind of block feel, and your current logo, like on the shirts, for example, as well as your guys' profile picture, has that much more traditional kind of medieval goth Torch logo with the green flames. What was it about kind of like changing the look a little bit in that? Was there any particular thought behind that, or did you just feel like you needed something new and fresh? There it is. Thanks, Angel.
Yeah, we needed a new logo, and not that the other one there's anything wrong with that. We liked it, but we were trying to get a little more edgy and that would fit our metal sound, and our cousin Eddie and Eric Brummett worked together on the logo, and and they presented it to Doug. And Doug and I, we kind of told them what we wanted. We still wanted a torch, and we wanted this and that and that, and they spitballed together and came up with some ideas and that, and Doug and I decided on this one here, and it's what's cool about it is on our last album we did it red, the flames red, and on this album we did the flames green. So on the next album, which we're currently working on another one, we'll change the flames to another color. So which is kind of cool. I always wanted to do that, just to keep the flames changing. The logo stays the same. Fire's different.
And when we with Eddie and Eric also, it had to be kind of with the funeral home. Other people may not know this, but this is us. So like part of funeral, man, I mean, I'm in every church around town there is, and I'm in every cemetery that there is. So for instance, on that Never Laughing Hearse Rolls By, there's a song called Crucifer's Rising. Well, do you know in the Catholic Mass, there's a kid with a palm, then there'll be the casket. There's a parade that goes through. And one of them is called the Crucifer, and he takes the crucifix and he raises it up high. So I was watching that one day, and then it just goes, I go, Crucifer Rising. It just hit my head. I go, that's an awesome title of a song, Crucifer Rising. Anyways, to say all that, it's got a couple with the funeral type of things with the crosses and all that in there too as well, just because it's, part of the funeral, you're in churches and cemeteries and all that, and there's the beam of light and the thorns and all that, so that all just kind of plays in there, so.
And the torch is, of course, the Torchlight Parade, and the Torchlight Parade is a funeral procession at night, so that would be one they would be carrying along with the casket and the body at night in the parade.
Absolutely, for sure. Oh, no, it's absolutely sick. And the last thing I want to ask you guys in my segment, and then Angel, go ahead and take it away right after their answer, is you guys did a music video for Frankenstein of Death. So talk a little bit about like the concept behind it and filming it and putting it out there, because it's such a cool, just dark, aggressive video, which of course works fully for your aesthetic and what you guys are all about. But talk a little bit about the concept and the execution of the music video. And then Angel, it's all you, brother.
Real quick, hey, come here. The wolf wants to say hi.
Yes.
So we rehearsed at here in town. We rehearsed at a castle, and it's a castle, man. And anyways, at this castle, there's tons of I can't even explain to you, tons of props. I mean, like Hollywood props, stuff from off movies, the big Dracula poster from Ghostbusters 2, Vlad the Impaler, he's got tons of this stuff. So anyways, we did the video there at the castle. So if you kind of look on that video, you'll see all kinds of different props. And the snake that my son has wrapped around him, you'll see like an albino snake. Down the street from here is my friend Jim's shop, and he tours with Alice Cooper. He travels around with Alice Cooper because he supplies all of Alice Cooper's snakes, and he's right down the street. So I said, Jim, get up here. We're doing a video. Get one of, he's got.
It's called Exotic Arc.
Say what, Matt?
Doug?
Oh, Exotic Arc. That's the name of his business. Anyways, so when you go in his shop, he's got all kinds of like Alice stuff and all that. But yeah, but that's a snake that he had around there. It came from Jim's shop. There's kind of a backstory there. So, but Matt, go ahead about the video.
What video? What?
The Frankenstein of Death video.
I didn't hear the question.
Oh, I was just asking just about the video and like how you guys, put it together and the concept of it. He was talking about, with the castle that you guys were at and stuff.
Oh.
I just think the video is just so awesome. So I was just I was just
Oh,
interested to hear about the experience.
Yeah, yeah, that was a good time. That castle, like my brother was saying, is it's a magic house. I mean, there's so many ups and downs and hidden
You would
passages,
love it.
and
Oh, I
and
believe
the guy made it, and it's literally a castle. The front of it looks like the Amityville, but it's made of big, stone, and he has a lot of secrets in there. But it's heavily decorated with horror and just all kinds of cool things, man. I mean, it's a man's place, and but he's got great taste, and
Halloween every day there, man.
yeah, and it's got the real neat, like, and if you watch the video, you see the library, and he has full skeletons and stage downstairs, and that's where we rehearse every week, and and it's just it's great it's very fitting for us, and I think my brother made the introduction when he rolled by in the hearse. and he was sold then. You had me at the hearse, Doug.
Yeah, that was a fun video to do. And actually, the owner of the castle, he plays a small little part in there when he's giving you the shot, Matt. Remember?
Yeah, that's the owner there. That's Kevin.
The long white hair. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. For sure, guys. Hell yeah. Angel, right up to you, my friend.
I've got to go to one of those video shoots.
Angel, that's funny. That's our Engel means angel. Our last name means angel.
In German.
I didn't know that. But that's like the thing. Like, we love, like Jay and myself, we've traveled, to see bands, whole shows. I've covered video shoots where I'm just there just to kind of see the making of the video and stuff. But fuck, you guys make me want to go to your video shoot.
Yeah, we got to make another one. We're going to be making some more. So, yeah, man, have to have you out at that castle. That's a hoot.
Cowbell.
Yeah. We play the Halloween party every year, and there's always between 700 and 800 people in that place, man. And we don't go on till 11 o'clock or whatever. But I mean, it's a good party.
And so when it comes with the new record, how do you guys decide what new songs to play? Because it's the third album, and you guys got a pretty long catalog of like 30 plus songs. So,
well, how you saying which songs from the new record do we play out live and try to pick them? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. How do you pick which songs to play live?
Well, we go down the list. And we're like, okay, this one we can have a wolf. This one we can have a Frankenstein. This one here we'll have the bagpipes. Theatrics, man.
I got an idea for the next record. You need a dominatrix that's that kills people. Just saying, you haven't had that yet. Just saying, that's all.
One of those balls from Phantasm run around the stage.
There you go.
Yes.
She rips your balls. She rips off your balls.
Actually, this a couple of weeks ago we played a vampire ball called the Bloodning, and we played it, and we did have a Art the. There you go. Yeah, that's a good one. We did have an Art the Clown that came up on stage. Boy.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love sex and horror? I mean, that's what vampire is. I mean, everyone wants a vampire to bite them on the neck. Just not you, Jay. I don't want you biting me on the neck, dude. Not you, though.
You say that now.
Yeah, well,
Save that for Tina, Angel.
I always liked the Interview with the Vampire. That was a good one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, vampire named Tina can bite me on the neck.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Absolutely, for sure. I know Interview with the Vampire was always a great one. I always love like Queen of the Damned and stuff like that. Like all those like, just solid like vampire movies like
Stop being selfish. We're interviewing the band. We're not interviewing you.
yeah, but they do have a song called Vampire Night, and I do feel like the expert on the subject outside of the band.
Oh, you're talking. You're not talking about yourself.
Nope.
It's the Interview with a Vampire. Oh, I forgot about that movie. Sorry.
When we sent that song off to Teddy, and he lives in Van Nuys, California, we sent it off to him, and he's like, "Okay, I'll throw some keys on it." Well, when he sent it back, I was like, "Holy cow, man!" I go, "Teddy, you just upped it, man. I mean, he really put the gravy on that thing, with all the, and Teddy's the one in the background going, kill, kill, kill." Yeah, he totally surprised us on that one. I mean, he always does a good job, but he really smoothed that one out, Vampire Night, with his keys. I mean, but the guy's professional, man. I mean, he's played with tons of people, Do you guys have any lyrics which were inspired by a single corpse? You see that, Matt? Read that.
Huh?
Read that.
Well,
Frankenstein of death. He's a corpse.
Huh. Good question. Give me. Well, I gotta. I gotta see what you mean.
Did we make a song about a certain person? That I guess.
I mean the part with the Frankenstein. Take my flesh and zip it up tight. I mean, that gets done daily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of references, to the funeral business and all those songs, even if it's just a little nugget. But there's a lot of, I'm Not Dead's filled with it. Morticians, Never Cry. As You Contemplate, If You Will Cremate, and cold are your cremains that help me light the flames.
Rock and Soul Ceremony, that had a lot of stuff in there. Or just Never Laughing at Herschel's By tells you, I mean, you ever heard the old poem, Never Laughing at Herschel's By, You'll Be the Next to Die? Yeah. Yep. Well, came off of that, It's got tons of stuff like that in there if you read the lyrics. Creepy things.
Yeah, it's when we're telling these stories, the Halloween haunted house things. I didn't want to get too gruesome, or I guess probably the hardest one in there is Vampire Night. I mean, with the brooding of that song with the kill, kill, kill. But all of them are peppered with mortician, with what I see in the day. That's all. It all spills out in them lyrics. That's why we chose. It's easy writing I was telling my brother, I was like, when it comes to horror movies, man, horror lyrics or gross lyrics or about blood, guts, and stuff that makes your skin crawl. I mean, man, we can write it. We're easy. Yeah, it comes easy, and it's fun. So we're gonna try something challenging next, and And but it's easy to do with what you love and what you do for a living, you know.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. Talk a little bit about what you guys have planned for like the rest of this year, and since it's so close to 2026, what you guys are planning and have planned going into the new year, of course, based on what you're allowed to talk about.
Well, we just got done with a very busy season. I mean, every weekend. Every weekend was booked September, October, and all that. You know, constantly because it's the season. You know, so now it's like
Just the season.
there's a few things that might pop up here. Some really good shows in like St. Louis area. We're just waiting on them, and but we're also in the middle of writing another album, and then waiting on for next year. Hopefully, we'll get that out next year because like this week me, Matt, and Sam are going to the studio tomorrow night and the next night just working on the next album and all that. And next, then around Christmas, like last year we did a big Toys for Tot drive, so it just depends. There's a couple things in here. We're just waiting to be verified. So a couple shows local here, but for next year, just waiting on a good tour.
Absolutely.
Waiting on a good tour.
No, definitely. It's been a little while since I've seen them live, but I've seen them a lot. How was it playing with Texas Hippie Coalition? Because like I've always enjoyed them as a live band. I think they're great. And how did you guys enjoy your time playing with them?
We loved it. We got to know them really good and really cool guys. And when we were playing, I always kept looking out there, and they're all watching us and stuff, because it was just, I guess they enjoyed it. We got a big horn on stage, and then they seen the actors. I got a guitar that lights up, and we got balloons, so it's kind of a parade, man.
Oh yeah.
Ball.
Yeah, my brother will throw out a rosary from the, like at a funeral home, everybody gets rosary, somebody will catch that, just stuff, the interacting with the crowd, stuff like that, so, but as far as, like next year, we're waiting on a good tour, even if it was with the Texas Hippie Coalition again, that'd be fine. Those guys were really cool guys. They were good, man. So,
Big Daddy's big.
Oh yeah. Oh no, absolutely, for sure. Metal Summoners, I do want to let you guys know that it is about that time. We're going to rock out with Torchlight Parade a little bit longer, but it is going to be last call for alcohol. Any final questions, comments, anything that you guys want to ask for the band? You guys have been great as always. Brian, Tina, we really appreciate all of you guys rocking out with us tonight and hanging. It's been absolutely killer. But it is going to be that time. So any final questions, comments you guys want to ask the band, make sure that you guys pump them into the comments so that we see them, so that Angel can call them out to the band, and we can get you guys heard for sure. So it is about that time, like I said, but we are going to hang out for a little bit longer, but we are taking our final spin around the table. Angel, let me kick it up to you, my friend.
Definitely. Just want to say, congrats on the new record. Like I said, I just discovered the band recently, and definitely cannot wait to see the band live, because Jay and I travel. We love going out, traveling to see shows outside of Jersey and Baltimore. I'm dying to go out to the Midwest just because I hear Midwest is pretty fucking crazy and wild when it comes to the rock music.
Yeah. You look at the Guns N' Roses concert in '93.
You was there? Hold on. You was at that show?
No. But we know people that were at the show that,
a riot.
St. Louis is like that. They're a tough crowd.
Yeah.
There's no ocean. Everybody's like a sports fanatic. But when it comes to like concerts, they take it serious, man.
Yeah, I just remember hearing about that. So when it comes to the next record, are there any songs from this album that did not make it to the next record, or you guys are just writing fresh for the new record?
It's fresh, but there was some just music stuff, not lyric wise, but music stuff that was left over that might go over on this next album possibly.
So is that going to be like a release 2026 or 2027 with the new record? Or... I know it's early to tell, but
I'm sorry, you were kind of breaking up there.
With the new record, is there like a timeline to release it?
No, well, I guess whenever we get done and we're happy, and then we'll release it. We plan on next year, so, but we're waiting on some good surprises, and we can't. Some special guests, you know.
Can't
so
say nothing. Can't say nothing.
No, of course not. Of course not. Waiting on some special guests, and then once we get that, then the ball starts getting rolling really good.
Yeah, because you guys are always welcome to come back whenever you guys have, you know, whenever everything's official with the tour dates and all of that. You guys are welcome to come back on the show and just talk about the tour dates. Or
Absolutely.
we can just fly out to you. Damn it.
Yeah.
That's always more fun.
I'm down for St. Louis, man.
It's always more fun doing it live when we're at the show, and it just gets crazier.
And what state are you guys in?
Jay's in Maryland, and I'm in Jersey.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But,
I can't hear that.
Is it cold up there, man?
fucking yes, I'm actually freezing right now. I feel like I'm at a fucking north.
I'm all about the cold weather because I'm from Massachusetts originally, so the colder the better.
It's 60 here.
Right on. I can handle 60. I'm one of those like 45 degrees to 65 degrees is kind of my happy place.
Ah.
Gosh, that's not even cold, dude. My happy place is 25 degrees.
Well, don't get me wrong. I understand. I'm down for that as well. I mean, I've got plenty of blankets. So even if I get to a level where I feel it's like particularly cold, I can always, throw on an extra blanket and stuff like that. But I do try to keep babes in consideration because, while, I technically fall into the category of a goth with dark and dank and cold is how I like it. She's the summer goth. She still loves her pools and her beach and stuff like that. So she's a warm weather person. She tolerates it because I'm a lunatic.
I can't hear anything.
But no, absolutely for sure, man. If there's one thing that you could definitely say to the fans and to not only your fans that have already come out to see you, but people that you want to encourage to come out to a Torchlight Parade show, what would you like to say to them?
I'm having a hard time hearing there. What?
Oh, no sweat, man. I might have cut a little bit. When it comes to fans that have seen you guys already, as well as fans that will be seeing you for the first time in the future, if there was something you could say to the fans about what, they have to look forward to at a Torchlight Parade show, what would you like to say to them?
The best that I can say is that we're your only mortuary metal band. There isn't another one, and we bring all that into everything. So if that's what does it for you, and whatever makes your skin crawl, then it'd be something you'd be interested in, because it comes out in all our music. We get the joke, and it's fun, and we don't take ourselves too serious, but we'll give you a 1-2-3 punch, right in the face, and you'll leave smiling, and hopefully you'll leave alive. but either way, you'll be all right.
Yeah, we opened for some really good national acts. I mean, Metal Church, Striper, Autograph, Quiet Riot, and there's a bunch of just different bands that we own. Bisto Blanco. But when people were done with the show, they came up and they were like, "Holy cow, where you guys been, man?" We're like, "Well, we're new. Here we are, So they're like, "You guys are awesome, man. We didn't expect to see all that, So just come check us out, man.
Absolutely. I mean, come on up to the lab and see what's on the slab.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be the last to let you down.
Absolutely. No, for sure. And before Angel and I officially let you go, because again, you've been incredibly courteous with your time this evening, and we want to, show appreciation to that, but also not eat up all of your evening as well. Please, by all means, let not only your fans and remind them, but also our fans and the Metal Summoners know where you guys can be found on your socials and where they can shop for merch.
Go ahead, Maddie.
I didn't hear that, man.
Oh, he wants to know, give torchlightparade.com, all the socials.
Yeah, you can go to torchlightparade.com and for all your Torchlight Parade needs, our winter collection is on its way and our fall collection is out right now. You can pick up the shirts and some other goodies are on there. And of course, our brand new album, you can get that on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, and any of those other outlets. We're on Facebook at Torchlight Parade, St. Louis Metal Band, and we're on TikTok, Torchlight Parade. We're on Instagram, Torchlight Parade. So, and we're right here on Torchlight Parade.
Absolutely, that you are, for sure. No, definitely. I mean, definitely looking forward to getting a shirt so I can rock you guys out all over the place. So I've definitely been on your merch store, and like I said, the Frankenstein by Death shirt with the split face is awesome. But I mean, I'm also such a fan of your guys' logo, and definitely looking forward to the next album as well when you guys get to tweak up the flame a little bit. I think that's super duper cool as a concept for you guys to kind of change things up and keep things super fresh. Angel, is there anything currently from any of the Metal Summoners or any of Torchlight's fans with any questions, or are we clear on the board?
Just grateful for your time. Definitely can't wait to see the band.
Can't wait to see you guys.
Absolutely. No, we look forward to it. We definitely look forward to hanging with you guys and showing yourself all the appreciation that you guys showed us this evening by coming on our show and hanging out.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, man. This was fun.
Awesome.
You guys are great, man. Anytime. Thank you.
I was going to say another thing too.
Absolutely.
If you're wanting to, if you're wondering like, oh, is there any bands that are similar to the Torchlight Parade, or there's any bands that had the same sound or like the same I would definitely say bands like Typo Negative had because Bloody Kisses, for example, like they have song titles like Black Number One or something like that, or We Hate Everyone, songs like that are just that I really find Typo Negative similar to Torchlight Parade, and I'm not sure how that works out, but I'm just it's because it's like the holiday vibe, it's like that's like October Rust too. That's like one of those albums that kind of similar to Children of the Night. I find that very close, but yeah.
Absolutely. No, I'm definitely down for that. I'm a big typo guy. So I'm all about that. And the funny thing is, like, you're in some of your, live photos or promotional photos of the videos, like I have that neon green and black bass from Dean.
Oh my God, for real? I was looking.
It's literally right there. Like it's because being like such a big Typo Negative guy, I bought it for that. I bought it for that reason.
Oh wow! Hey, is that a Dean?
Yeah,
he's got the same one, man.
Yeah,
he put Frankenstein on it, man. Yeah.
I literally bought. I mean, I'm a bass guy myself, but like I bought this because I'm a huge Typo Negative guy, and like I know that Peter played a black bass with green frets and highlights, very just like Kenny with his guitar. They're black like with green highlights, but I bought this specifically because it was so Typo Negative vibey, and I want to get the Typo logo as like one of those like. And I know I can find it. I just haven't really done the research to get it. But like one of those like, black sticker vinyl things that I can just pop like right on here and to like just put their like logo on there. But yeah, no, I saw it in your photos and I was like, I'm going to have to address that at some point.
You put a Geezer Butler pickup on there.
Oh, killer.
You got to get the chain strap for that thing.
I know. Totally do, for sure.
That's what I want on my green bass style. I was like, it looks so Typo Negative. Like I want the Peter Steele, like Gene Simmons always had that strap too, where it's like a chain.
Yeah.
Peter Steele had that too.
Absolutely. No, for sure. Yeah, Angel and I had Johnny Kelly on the show not too long ago, and that was a lot of fun. He was really, really awesome and super duper cordial. So it was great to talk Typo with a Typo. So it was definitely awesome. But again, we gotta thank you guys so much because your hospitality and having Angel and I on with you guys, it never goes unappreciated. And the one thing that's always very, very important to myself and Angel is that you guys enjoyed yourselves, you enjoyed the interview, you felt respected, like the questions, and most importantly, you felt that in any way, shape, or form this interview could benefit Torchlight Parade's continued success.
Thank you for having us, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, dude. This was great. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Dude, anything. Thank you, man, for helping the band and all you do.
Absolutely.
No, thank you. And thank you to Barbara for setting up the interview.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for being a metalhead, man.
100%. Always and forever, for sure. And I definitely looking forward to placing my order so I can get my t-shirt to rock. So that's definitely going to be awesome for sure. And again, thank you guys so much. Torchlight Parade fans, Metal Summoners, thank you guys so much for showing the band so much love, so much courtesy tonight. We really appreciate you guys for that. Make sure that you're following them on all of their socials. When they're touring, you'll be up to date on news when it comes to the upcoming record. But make sure that you guys are showing Children of the Night a lot of love and a lot of support and, letting everybody know where they can hear it and how they can hear it. So that way it makes it also a lot easier and opportunities open up for them to tour and come to your town as well as my town and Angel, so we can all just hang out, be a family, and have a great time. Hey, Kat, thanks for popping on. Cheers. Great to see you. We really, really appreciate you guys. It's always a real appreciation. You can follow the band, like they said, at their socials for Torchlight Parade. You can follow Angel at Angel Alamo 78 on Instagram. You can also find him on Facebook. Our beloved Psycho Steve, who works behind the scenes, you can find him on Instagram at The Real Psycho Steve. On Instagram, but you can also find him at psychostevepresents.com. Myself, you can find me on Instagram at salem.vampire, and I can also be found under that name on Facebook as well. But again, make sure that you guys are getting out and supporting Torchlight Parade with their vinyls, their CDs. Their albums can be downloaded on all of the platforms. And of course, get your t-shirts, get your merch, get all that fun stuff, because every little bit helps to allow them to record and allow them to get out on the road. So we really appreciate that, and making sure that you guys are are assisting them for all of the music that they're giving us. We appreciate you guys. Angel and I will see you Metal Summoners in 24 hours. We got a couple of interviews coming up for you guys tomorrow, but that is tomorrow. We are in the now. On behalf of Torchlight Parade and myself and Angel, we appreciate you guys. Be good, keep listening to music, horns up. Keep spooky season going 365 days a year, and we will see you guys real soon. Be good, take care of each other, and keep listening to music. As always, you've been watching the Metal Summit.